Hello.
We're back. Hello.
This is so weird because it's 2026, but we still need to wrap up December.
We
We
do.
need to look back a little bit, and December was the longest year ever,
December was so long. And yet,
which is usually great for reading, but
right, but I did not read as much as I thought I was going to. Like, I just
I did
didn't.
not either.
So,
No.
last episode where we were like, I'm going to fit in all of my reading. In
All
that
of
last
it.
lies. All of it was lies. I lied about everything.
Thank God we already hit our goal. Like if we were depending on the week from Christmas to New Year's to hit our goal, whoo, no good. No
Would have
good.
been so bad. I think in the last episode, I was like, hey, if I finish everything I said I was going to finish, I will hit 75 books. I did do that. But I didn't do anything else. I didn't do any more than that. And I barely did that. We're talking like 11:45 on New Year's
Squeak
Eve.
it
That's where I squeaked it in. Literally, I was like,
Yes.
okay, if I pop this audiobook up to 2 times, I will make it before.
I can finish in time.
That's exactly how I did it.
To call it a 2025.
That's exactly how I did it.
Yes. Yes. So, yes, and I did. I read one on December 31st as well. I was like, oh, I should probably read since I talked about reading this week and I haven't yet at all. So I did read on December 31st.
Yes, but you also like hosted and had to like clean up and like all of the like you had extra things this year that you don't
Yes.
usually have.
Yes, that is very true. And winter is officially upon us here in SoCal. It has been raining since Christmas.
I was like, what does that mean for winter in SoCal?
Rain, all the rain. So much
Fair.
rain.
I got the note that was
yes.
like, there's going to be a snow squall. I was like, what the heck is a snow squall? Like, I was like,
Oh my
we live
God,
in Virginia.
such a
What is
fun
happening?
word.
And it was,
Squall.
yeah. And I like, but it was overnight. Like overnight it happened. And like we woke up and I was like, there's a mere dusting on the, what happened? What happened when I was
You're
sleeping?
like, beware the squall that comes in at night. And then you're like, but I don't know what this is. And I kind of want to see
Apparently.
it now.
Right? But I didn't get to. I just got the effects of it, which was just a little bit of snow in my car when I had to take my daughter to camp.
No good. No good. Yes. Same here. We've got a precipitative Christmas.
Nice word.
I might have made it up. I'm not sure. Not convinced it's real, but you know,
I think we keep it.
I like it.
You know what? I think we started the year with new words, so we'll start the next year with new words. It's totally fine.
This
But
is how we do
I
things.
feel
Yes.
like, luckily for most people who have joined us, we've talked about a lot of the books that we read in December already, which is kind of nice. So this is just kind of like a quick chat.
It's a casual chat, a cash chat, if you will. But before we jump into that, let's toss around some new ideas. So we were saying subscribe in 2025.
Okay.
For this year, I'm thinking give us your clicks in 2026.
Oh, I like that. No, that one's good. We don't need any more
Okay.
ideas.
Okay, perfect. So give us your clicks in 2026. Click the like, click the subscribe, come and watch our videos, like chat along with us. All of the clicks.
All of the click things. There's even a little bell that will notify you when we actually post a new episode. And then I forget to put it on Instagram. So that might be a good plan too. If you actually want to know before I remember to do it on social, the little bell will tell you before I do.
Yes. Jump on, be one of the first to see it.
Right? So I do love that. Give us your clicks in 26. Perfect. Make sure you've already done that since you're here. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still a little bummed I didn't read more. I've already started my next book for like my first book for 2026. I've already started it because I was like, oh.
Nice.
And I think if I had given myself the time to sit and read like day one, it would have been done. So I was like, I'm kind of glad that I pushed it out and squeaked it out because I think I'll probably finish it today. But, you know, not bad for starting out. It's one that I love anyway. So it was like a super easy, quick read. And it was not a holiday book. I'm over holiday books, which I usually read into January. I'm over it. I'm done. Don't give me any more
We've
holiday.
done enough of those. We're moving on.
I have, which I never say. But I definitely was like, no, I am finished with the holidays. I put the holidays away before New Year's Eve, which I never clean up like Christmas trees and decorations. It was all gone. I was like, there's too many people and things in this house. The trees have got to go. And so down they went, like the 27th, 28th maybe. I was like, all of it, put it away.
Well, you did, like, in all fairness, you were peer pressured into putting
An
them
early
up
setup.
super early.
You're right. And I didn't think about that. So I appreciate you bringing the reality back in, because I was like, why am I so over this right now? But I'm very much over it. There's a couple winter books I could probably toss in there and read, but we'll see if that happens, because right now I've got some other stuff I like.
We got a new plan. We're on to a new year. New reading goal, new, like, it starts. It starts. Okay, but before we talk about it starting, how did it end for you? What else did you read in the
What
black
else
hole
did
of a
we
week
read?
of December?
So, right where it's don't know what day it is, don't know what the date is, full of cheese, you know. Just the
Sun
normal
Day,
between
like,
Christmas
what
and New
we-
Year's thing.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So I actually have to pull it up, because I don't, like, I remember, but I don't remember, because most of the stuff I read was holiday themed. So we talked about Winter Getaway. We talked about the Christmas Tree Farm. We talked about the Gingerbread Bakery. Like, all of those are the holiday-y ones that I read. We talked about Good Spirits with the Ghost of Christmas Past, which I then did actually go and watch A Christmas Carol, because I was like, well, I have to now, because it's kind
Yes.
of the same thing. So that one, I don't know if I like gave that one the full like rundown of like, hey, here's if I did or didn't like it. I actually ended up really liking it. And to the point that I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I cried, like real tears cried, and was like, okay, maybe I just needed that cry. But it was surprising in a way that I was like, oh, this is going to be dumb. And then I read it and was like, it's not dumb. She loves him. It's not dumb. Like, it's just, one of those things. But I finished off my holiday book reading with a book called The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. And Jenny Colgan has a bunch of like bookshop books, right? We have The Christmas Bookshop. We have Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop, which I had started to read at the end of the month and was like, no, we'll finish this another time. Not into it. And I think I just didn't want to stay in the same world. And then there was another one that was like just The Bookshop, which I think I also have on my shelf. So there's she writes a lot about characters who run or go into or have something to do with bookshops, which I don't hate, because I love a good book about a book. So I did read that one, and it was cute, but it was also very much just like, like it was a 3. It was a book. It was fine. And that's why I think I was like, oh, if I read The Christmas Bookshop and then I read Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop, that'll be super sweet, because it's like right in the same hall. And I just didn't want to stay in that world right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay in.
You're over the holidays. Done.
I was. But that's the one, like the last Christmas one that I read. I had one after that. But that's the last actual Christmas one that I read to like wrap up.
Called it quits after that. Yes. You're like, this completes me and the holidays of 2025. We are done.
It did.
Yes.
It did. And it was right. It was, I think, in that good time where I think I finished it like the day after maybe Christmas. So I was still in like that Christmassy feel. But right after that, I was like, we're good. We're fine. Give me something else on which to dine.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I'm taking that line. Because the book that I read, A Feast for Crows, which was book number 4 of Game of Thrones, which we had talked about that a little previously. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. A little previously in a previous episode.
Yep.
Hold on, I'll figure it out. And it was a wrap up for me there too. I was like, I do have book number 5. That I was going to start. I wanted to finish in December to be complete with the series, and I couldn't. It was an overwhelming world. There's so many characters. There's so many things happening, and with all the hosting and like setting up for Christmas and getting everything together, like it was not a place that I could drop in fully to think about the world. And this is definitely a world that needs to be submersed in. So like this is not a we're just gonna like topically read and go on. So I did finish book 4 very early in December and decided not to do book 5 yet. So that is waiting. And then we had also talked about my holiday book, V1, that I read, The Holiday Swap, which we did talk about in our holiday book episode. So you can check those two out. Other than that, I read one other book on December 31st. And this is not one that I had planned on reading. This was a surprise. This was a surprise read. So, and how it happened, how it usually happens, is my husband received this book for Christmas from you and immediately read it.
I was like, no wonder it looked familiar when I saw it.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
So he read it like the moment he opened the package. He's been looking for this book, waiting. Like we've seen a bunch of reviews on this book. And so he picked it up and he was like, this is a 5-star read. You need to read this. And I was like, okay, because he does not give 5 stars easily. It has to be earned. So that book is A Fig for All the Devils. And this book, let me see. My words will not do this book justice. However, I'm going to try. So this is classified as a horror book, and the author states that this is a fictionalized memoir. So this is his life experience, something that he's gone through, and it is about grief and loss and death and healing through all of that. And whereas A Monster Calls, it's very similar to me in theme. A Monster Calls feels like the healed version. And this book feels like, you know, that dark joke you say in front of your family? And you're like, ha ha ha, I can laugh about this. And your family looks at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like that is this book.
Yeah.
So good. It is so good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like that. But super good. This is about a young boy who goes through abuse and death of a parent and his life afterwards, and he meets the Grim Reaper, and it's his adventures with that. And it is beautifully written. It is a horrific story, but it is so beautifully written, just with that edge of like comic relief that we all try to give ourselves in a tough situation. And like I said, he called it a fictionalized memoir. So good, in fact, that my husband actually reached out to, his name is Casey Fritz. He reached out to him on Instagram and was like, dude, this is like such a good story. I would love to have a hard copy. But like hard copies were only printed because he does independent printing. And so this is like printed 4 years ago. And he was like, hey, if you could let me know, like I love having hard copy trophies of like the 5-star books that I love. And the guy was just so appreciative and like super cool to talk to. And then I actually then reached out. He reached out on my Instagram, but then I reached out on our Instagram and was like, okay, I read this book and like I need to tell you how much I appreciate this book and like how good it was. And there's a thing in the back that says, if you love it, like leave a good review, share it, let everybody know, because he is an independent. And he was like, if you hated it, then I just need you to lie. Like, so no lies. This is a great book. And I mean, quick and easy, not terrible, but very deep, very good. So I hope I've done it justice. And I hope I make you want to read this.
Right. It definitely sounds like something. It almost feels like a little bit like a Chuck Palahniuk feel, right? Like this is going to crack your world open, but not in a way that's going to ruin you, but it's definitely going to make you feel feelings.
And just like lets you know that sometimes horrific things happen in life and people go through some absolute shit, and it's okay to deal with it in a way that works for you. You know, for you to get through and get to the other side, and like what that looks like. And it's always just interesting to me because I do feel like we're on the inside of his brain on like how he's getting himself through this. And it does make you wonder like what was true, what was fantasized, what was, like just makes it a very
Yeah.
good read. So, highly recommend.
Which
We
pieces
all
were embellished a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So, everyone in this house gave it a 5 stars. So, thank you, Casey
Which is nice
Fritz.
because I don't feel like I always get the same. Like if I give a book to somebody, I don't expect that they're going to have the same 5-star experience that I am. I hope that they are because I'm like, hey, if I thought it was 5 stars, I also think I'm kind of like a gentle grader for some things. If I really didn't like it, I definitely am like, no, bad. But otherwise, I don't expect that everybody's going to love the same things that I love. And so when someone else does have that or a similar 5-star experience, I'm like, oh no, like that's almost validating. Like I know how I felt about it, but the fact that somebody else felt the same way is also very much like, oh, cool. Like we're in this.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And like I said, my husband does not give 5 stars easily. So, if he's got a 5-star read, it's probably one you want to pick up.
That's fair. And I would also agree with that because I think that every recommendation that I've received from him has been moving in some way, which is like a very cool thing.
Yes. Definitely another one.
There's one more to add. So that actually kind of segues, not really, like not super well into mine, but segues a little bit because mine is actually also about the afterlife. My last one.
Okay.
So I actually listened to this as an audiobook, and I talked about it a little bit in the last episode where I was like, oh, I used to follow this TikTok creator who had kind of created this sketch thing with a whole bunch of different characters, right? It was just her, but she's playing all these different characters, and she kind of took this idea and made it into a book. And then she had an audiobook done where you have like a different character for the female and the male and like that's what like it wasn't necessarily a dramatized reading, but it was still good. And I was really excited about it. And I think when I started listening, it was like a 24-hour audiobook where I was
Yeah.
like, that's a lot. Right. And so I was like, I can do this. That'll be fine. And I did the thing I always do where like I think I listened to like 11 straight hours one day because it was really good. And then I forgot about it for like a week. Um, and when I got back to it, I turned it back on. I do remember like when I was first listening, you've got like the character's name is Lily. You've got Lily's voice in there, and Lily, it's Lily's story, right? She passes away. She starts out life, and she ends up unfortunately having cancer, and she passes away, and she has to get to her afterlife, and she has to like choose, right? She has to go through universal judgment, and then she has to choose what she wants depending on her religion, which she really didn't have a religion, but she was raised with religion, and she was like, I'm good. I don't really like subscribe to that because I have a lot of questions, and also like I died from cancer, so like that seems upsetting, and so she gets judged by, universal judgment or whatever, and ends up earning her paradise, which is like you read about. It's this super adorable house, like created in the Hobbit theme, and it's super like cozy and whimsical and all these things. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm dead, but I'm also like bored. I have all these books. I have my own library. I have my own paradise. She's like, I have my cat. She's like, but I'm kind of bored. So she like wanders down to hell. And she's like, let's see what's here. She like meets all the demons. She ends up like making friends with a bunch of like demigods and, gods and goddesses and things like that. And she's like, you know what? There's a lot of people down here. I used to work customer service. There's a lot of people down here who just want to complain. So why don't I set up this thing called the help desk, HELLP, because we love a good pun. And she's like, I'm going to set up the help desk and I'm going to take on the souls that like just have a grievance and like send them down to their level wherever it is. And so it's this whole story of her like starting the help desk and becoming like good friends with Lucifer, and like she ends up there's all these things that happen. She ends up falling in love with the one of the princes of hell and that sort of thing. And so it's her whole experience down there, basically, knowing that she'd never been a mother but wanted to be a mother, knowing that like reincarnation is an option for her should she want it. And so it's all these different things. And there's this love story that's also like peppered through the whole thing. And it's her kind of like going through the experiences of being like, yes, I'm dead, but like, is there an existence afterwards that doesn't necessarily have to be mortal? And it's this whole story of, you know, all of those things and the friends that they meet and like the people that she sees and, you know, all that kind of stuff that very much resembles the story that she started on TikTok and like has continued to do on her TikTok channel. I'm really hoping that there are more books because I really loved this one. And when the male character, like his voice came on, I was like cleaning something and I went to walk upstairs and the male character's voice came on and I immediately like walked back downstairs. I was like, I'm going to wait a minute because that is an incredibly deep voice, like perfect voice for a demon, but also like, okay, well done. So it would have been the perfect voice for Xaden, honestly. Maybe even a little too deep for Xaden, but it was really like the voice actors that she picked were fantastic. The story was great. And I just wanted to like, at one point I was like listening to it as I was like laying in bed one night and I like was literally giggling because I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this. And like, I could see it in the character and like all those kinds of things. So it was, I'm surprised I ended my month on an audiobook, but I'm really glad I did. And I'm really hoping that there are more because like, I don't want to leave that world quite yet. I don't know that there are any more. I don't think she said that there are any more, but I would listen to another one of those if I could.
Wow. Okay. I like this. This is a little different for you. Also, it feels like a little bit of Damned by Chuck Palahniuk, but in like a more positive, optimistic way. We don't have like a 13-year-old attempting to take over hell, but like a whole nother experience.
No.
So interesting.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I said what it's called. It's called
No.
For Whom the Bell Tolls, Belle, and it's by, let me say her name. I know her first name is JC. I just need to say her last name correctly. I think it's JC Lynn. It is JC Lynn. Jaysea is her first name. JC Lynn, and For Whom the Bell Tolls. And I think she's See You Later on TikTok, like literally see.ya.later. That's her TikTok thing. So you can go in. And one of the things that I didn't see in this audiobook was some of the other characters that she introduces. Like you get one of the characters at the very end, but there's so much more that happens with so many more characters in her like TikTok world that hasn't happened in the audiobooks yet, which is why I'm like, please bring me the rest of the story. Cause like I want Penny's story. I want Sharky's story. I want Greg's story. Like there are all these different characters that are not in here yet. I want Ruggy's story. Like there are so many things that are still happening in her world where I'm like, you can't be done writing yet. I don't know if you wanted to be a writer, but if you didn't, I'm sorry, you're hired. Get back here and start writing.
Yes. You now have big shoes to fill, your own.
You have to fill your own shoes. So that's how I ended. Like I said, 11:45. And then I was like, oh, we need to do the ball drop. Like everybody wake up. All of the
It's
children stand
happening
up. It's time
now.
for the ball drop. It is New Year's.
And we're moving on to 2026. Congratulations. There is no downtime. We finish one, we're on to the next.
We roll into the next one. I will say, I did give myself a no buy January rule. I am not to buy a single book in January. Not one. I don't care if it is on sale. I don't care if I need it to complete a collection. I don't care. I mean, I say I don't care. I do care, but I say I don't care. But I'm not purchasing any more books for this month. I am only reading what is on my extensive TBR pile.
Yes. I love this. This is a great way to start to, visit the ones that you've already like got excited about.
Exactly. And I feel like it was easier. Like I had a little bit of a sense of satisfaction when I like turned around on my chair because I finished the one and I was like, I will pick like you because I'm excited to read it. And I was like, well, it's already here. And there are so many of those that I have that I just keep grabbing where I'm like, I'll get to you. But then I buy something else that I really want and don't read it. So we'll see how long I can extend the snow by January, but it's definitely going to be January.
I love that. I love that. It'll be interesting to see what else you have currently that you're like, ooh, I am excited about you. Yes.
And there are a couple that I purchased. I know that I purchased last year because they were like, oh, this is supposed to be really good. Or like they've reached, I think there's one, it's like a dystopian YA book. And I got it from the author. Like she signed it and I just haven't read it yet. And I'm like, I need to put that on. Like I need to read that. It's time because it's apparently gotten on several lists for the year, which is really cool. And to say
Yeah.
like, hey, I met this author and like had a conversation with her. Unfortunately, like the poor thing had to see me twice because I ended up seeing her like at her signing and then just happened to be out in a completely different part of the state the next day. And she happened to be in the same bookstore, like just passing through. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I have to see you again, but just want to say congratulations one more time. And like then I like ran because I was like, this is me being weird. But I think I need to read that one. I know where it is. I keep looking at it, and then we'll see. So that's what my
Yes.
goal is for the month.
I love that. I think that's kind of where I look at books too. I'm like, if I'm going to buy you right now, it's because I need to read you right now. Otherwise, if I'm going to wait, like if I'm going to buy you and put you on my shelf and wait to read you, then you can stay at the bookstore until I'm ready for you.
You're so much better at that than I am because I would love for that to be the thing that I do, but I will go into the bookstore and be like, oh, this is the one I really wanted. This is one I really wanted to read. And then I walk out and there are 4 books. I have one brain. I can't read 4 books in the time that it takes me to buy new books. So that's why I was like, you need to get yourself under control and, you know, figure that out. That isn't to say that like I don't think I have any like pre-orders that are supposed to arrive in January, but that doesn't count because that was
I was going to
past
say that
me
doesn't
who
count.
purchased them.
Yeah. No, no, no. No, no.
It doesn't count. It doesn't
That
count.
doesn't count.
I won't let
No.
myself feel guilty over it.
Right. Because that was already paid and bought. It's just being delivered. Yes. I love this.
Exactly. Delayed gratification.
Yes. I like it.
So, I am happy with my December, right? Like I'm cool with the fact that like I got books read and I did what I needed to do, but I'm also not feeling like I had to stretch myself super hard and just kind of like went with it. So it's kind of nice to take that energy into the new
Yes.
year.
I think that definitely filtered my into 2026 as well. Because I was at the beginning of the week thinking, oh, I'm going to just fly through so many books right now. And then I was like, no, I went for quality over quantity and ended up with a 5-star read to end the year. So, like, you can't complain. That's such a good place to end the year on.
And I feel like you kind of set that intention for yourself with your book goal for the year anyway, where you were like, no, we're going for quality. And I think it's very cool that you kind of ended slash started like that. You took that energy in with you. And I think
Yes.
that makes sense to me.
I love it. And, like, of course, that's just how it worked. So, yes, tell us about your 2025. How did you finish your December 2025? Did you hit your goal at the last minute? Were you rushing to get them all in the black hole week of December? Read anything really good? Like, I love an addition to our TBR. Not that I, like, am at a loss, but I always love, like, because you never know what could be a 5-star read that you did not have on your radar. So, what you got?
It wasn't even on your list yet.
Now, so thank you for making that happen for both of us.
for making it so that we had to do those things. Well, it was one of those that when I picked out books and I was like, these look like they're on the list, but I don't know how long they've been on the list. So if he already has them, we're screwed. And I'm like, we're hoping he doesn't have them and that we're good to go.
Yes, he was very careful to keep his list curated.
I appreciate that. I appreciate a curated list. That's kind of where I'm not as good at keeping a curated list, but I did actually this year. I started an entirely separate list for just books because I know when I go to the store, like instead of keeping them on like a notes or whatever, I actually keep them in my Amazon so that I can like, and instead of using that to buy, I just keep them in there so I can see like, oh, if I go to the store, this is what I need, this is what I don't need. So that's where I kind of keep that now.
Yes. Yes, I do the same thing. And that's something that he taught me as well. Because when I buy books or when we bring books into the house, I do put them in my Goodreads so that I can keep track of what we have so that we don't duplicate. You know, when you're at the store and you're like, oh, this sounds really good. Do we have this? Yes or no? Because we've done that a lot. No, I don't have this. I've been waiting for this. We come home, we have like 8 copies. So that list, everything on there says like want to read because that's the default for when you add a book to Goodreads. And so I'm like, this isn't really a conclusive list. And he's like, put them in your Amazon. Like, as you hear about them, add them to your Amazon, and then that's the one that you check when you go to the store and you're like, okay, what am I actually looking for? These. I'm like, it's a great idea.
Yeah, I just started it because I used to like throw all of those books onto my regular wish list because I was like, most of the stuff on my wish list is books anyway, so like it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, if someone else is like, hey, I'd like to purchase you a gift off that list, they don't know, like I would know, oh, this is book 2 and book 4 because book 1 and 3 are not on there yet or whatever. So I just shoved it on a completely different list that's like just for me, where I'm like, I will just keep an eye. I did also, I think I talked about it last week. I did get a Kindle. I did purchase a Kindle. I did the
You did,
Paperwhite.
okay.
Yes. And I thought, and there's been a lot of like Paperwhite or Color Soft or whatever. Like people are talking about that a lot right now. And the Color Soft was like $100 extra. And I was like, look, if I really need the color, I could just go to the app on my phone and take a quick picture of the title and be fine. But with the Kindle, which was purchased in December, so it doesn't count for now. With the Kindle, it came with like 3 months of Kindle Unlimited. So I now have access to a lot of those books that I didn't have access to before that I will now be able to like throw in there and take off that other list and kind of make that a little bit more updated, which I'm excited about.
Nice. What a fun way to start.
So not mad about it for the year, but like Abby said, would love to hear what you're reading, what you really enjoyed in December. If there's something where you're like, hey, I went on a kick on this thing. I had a couple of recommendations just, I think it was this morning, that was like, hey, these really surprised me. Love a good surprise book, right? Like love somebody that says, hey, this is not something that I thought I was going to enjoy, but it became one of my favorites or whatever. Love that kind of recommendation. So anything that you all want to recommend or tell us to stay away from, we are happy to listen to it.
Keep us posted. Let us know.
Exactly. And on that note, I think that wraps up our December. And looking forward to a whole new month. We did actually just start for the Instagram. We have new highlights. So we have an Abby's 2026, we have a Meg's 2026, and we have our 2026 episodes that'll be up there too on the little highlights. So you'll see those that are a little bit different. So if you want to see anything we read last year, that will be on the previous highlights that had our previous little drawing faces, and the new ones for 2026 are up there as well now. Figured we'd start it off easy. So on that note, until we chat with you next week, happy reading, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
It was great to have you join us for today's chat. If you'd like to continue the conversation, provide a recommendation, or simply say hi, pop over to Instagram at wine.read.wine, or leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next episode. Happy reading!